See, it used to be just a multicultural team of various religious beliefs and faiths. Now, with the new games, it's a multicultural team of various religions, beliefs, and faiths, and gender identities and races. Because, like, oh no, the Esgerdubbers are fucking complaining that there are no girl protagonists in Assassin's Creed Unity. Better fucking kowtow. It always depresses me how it went from multicultural team of various religions and faiths and beliefs, and now they're bringing identity politics and race into it. When really the entire reason for that disclaimer was this story is about how religion is a lie. And it's really fucking ancient alien technology. But anyway, this is Assassin's Creed 4, and I've talked about this before, how this game, the worst part about this game is the part where it says Assassin's Creed on the logo. But the part about this game that's really, really awesome is the part where it's Black Flag. The part where it's a fucking pirate game. Because next to fucking Sid Meier's Pirates, this is the game that came, like, right up to the edge of being this is a fucking pirate game. This fulfills the fantasy of being a pirate game, of being a swashbuckling buccaneer. The only parts, like, all the stuff I talked about in Sid Meier's Pirates, where it doesn't have the immersion, the viscerality of being down on the ground floor, being a pirate with a fucking hat and eye patch and all that shit, roaming around, going into the taverns and recruiting crew members personally, and going from there onto the port, and then jumping up onto your ship, and interacting with your crew. And they're all like, yeah! Come on, be like, yeah. See? There. They're all cheering. They're like, yo! And actually stepping up to the fucking steering wheel and taking off into the wild blue yonder. This is like a special hub. This is like a special home base area, so there's a loading screen for this. But out here, once you're out, like, the big cities, like if you go to Havana, that's like the big city, those are sequestered away behind the loading screen. But the smaller port towns, you can just dock and jump off and be right there. And while you're out and about sailing... Come on, loading screen. It's loading a big, massive... I don't complain about long loading screens anymore, as long as there's no loading screens interrupting gameplay. But this is what I was talking about. Remember how in the fucking Sid Meier's Pirates video, I was like, it's such a bummer that the way this works is you're out in a bird's eye view from an omnipotent perspective, looking at the ship way down there and controlling it. This is what you want it to be. I'm here on the ship with my steering wheel, and you actually see your crew members bustling around, cutting ropes and shit, actually sailing, and at any time, you can just let go and walk away from the steering wheel and just walk around while your ship fucking floats around, and you can, like, be like, yo, everyone, what's up? Like, look at this. This is exactly what you want a pirate game to be. This experience is what you crave. And that Sid Meier's Pirates, by sheer fact of... That's getting pretty close. Think I can make it? Let's see if we can make it. We can jump off our ship and jump into the fucking water and swim out. Let's see if it'll get close enough. No! It was just not close enough, damn. There's something cool you can do with that, but anyway. And then you swim back. Like, look at this. This is like, in every way that Sid Meier's Pirates was not, this game is that pirate game experience. The unfortunate thing is in every way that Sid Meier was that pirate game experience, where you can have complete freedom to sail around and do whatever you want at any port you want, and you just had this massive amount of freedom. This game doesn't, for obvious reasons, because this isn't a pirate game. And speaking of being a pirate game, let's go ahead and start a pirating. What up, bitch? Ah, it's so fucked up when you think about it. Real life pirates fired off a warning shot. Oh, I'm 100% complete and have like a billion fucking monies. I have like so long since been done with this game. This game came out a while ago, and I've played it a lot for obvious reasons. That's awesome. And then here's the great part. You weaken the ship and take down their sails, and then you can start boarding. And then a seamless transition, you just let go of your fucking steering wheel. You see your crew members throw their grappling hooks and start pulling the ship in. And instead of just getting into a single choreographed rock, paper, scissors fight with the captain, and look at that, they're all on the ropes, and like, yeah, and look, once they're close enough, our men are gonna start jumping over across to the other ship and start raiding them like fucking pirates. It's the best! You see how this just like fucking nails it in terms of that experience, that visceral on, like, boots on the ground fucking pirate game feeling. Ah, shit. And it's so fucking fun to actually, like, again, in every way that this game is Black Flag, it's fucking spectacular. But unfortunately, it's in every way that it's Assassin's Creed that this game is a fucking annoying bummer. Let's enjoy the part where it's Black Flag for a little bit first, before complaining about the part where it's Assassin's Creed. Look out, buddy. Ah, blew up our own men there a little bit, but it's fine. They're cheap. We can buy replacements. Plus, Edward Kenway is a fucking great fucking pirate character. Like, look, he's fighting with two fucking cutlasses. And he's got 4 guns on him. So you can just rapid fire off 4 fucking flintlocks. And this is a special outfit I'm wearing. This isn't his default outfit, but I love the way this outfit comes with a hat. And, you're being annoying. Ah, gotta reload, seriously? Whatever, we don't need to kill the captain, we just gotta kill a certain amount of crew members. So, boom, as soon as you satisfy that, they surrender, and then you have to decide what to do with the ship with a menu. So in this way, it is pretty much similar to Sid Meier's. You can recruit it to your fleet. I don't know what this does. Lower your wanted level is the effect it has, but I don't, like, in-universe, I don't really know what it's accomplishing. Or you could, like, rip the ship apart and, like, nail some boards on your ship. In essence, what that does is blow that ship up and sink it down to the bottom of the deep, being attacked by pirate hunters. So let's go ahead and take care of that. I really love the ship combat too, like the ship combat. Again, the fact that you're actually sitting in your fucking, like, cockpit of the ship, watching your character steer the wheel around, and watching your men reload the fucking cannons adds so much to it. And the ship combat in this game is an expanded version of what the ship combat was like in Assassin's Creed 3. And I've talked about this, like, everyone shit talks Assassin's Creed 3. That game was awesome, fuck you. But the way the ship combat in Assassin's Creed 3 was pretty rudimentary at the time, and they, considering the entire game is a pirate game now, they really expanded on that and made it, like, way more in-depth in order to suit the fact that the entire game is based around a pirate experience this time. And when you it does feel a lot like they took a lot of inspiration from Sid Meier's Pirates and pirate games of that nature when designing this. You can kind of tell how they were like, can I not board it? I believe I can. You can kind of tell how they were like, okay, what are some other pirate games that have been out there? Let's do the things those games did. But in a different kind of way that suits, like, the gameplay of Assassin's Creed. And that's, again, what it comes down to is this isn't a pirate game. That's the part that's a little bit of a bummer. This is an Assassin's Creed game with all of the fun pirate shit slapped on top. If you lower Wanted level, all that happens is, like, you let... Like, it seems like what you're doing is like, okay, we took your cargo. Like, maybe what's happening is you're being like, okay, you can go tell people we're cool, I guess? I don't know. Like, suddenly that ship is gone now, so, like, they've sailed away. Like, we just wanted your cargo, bro. I don't know. Like, maybe that lowers your reputation of being a bad pirate dude. Because what they did was just take the default gameplay of Assassin's Creed 3. Like, they took that engine, the same engine that Assassin's Creed 3 ran on, and all those gameplay mechanics, and just slightly incrementally changed them up a little bit. Like, they took the stuff that worked and they made it better, and they took the stuff that didn't work and tweaked it or got rid of it. But it's still, like, an updated version of Assassin's Creed 3's gameplay with the pirate ship stuff. And the ship stuff is just a upgraded, better version of the ship stuff that was in Assassin's Creed 3. You weren't a pirate in Assassin's Creed 3, and it was, like, very rudimentary in nuts and bolts. So you could tell while they were making Assassin's Creed 3, they were like, there's something here. There's something to this ship combat that we've made for this short mini-game section of Assassin's Creed 3. There's stuff we can do with this. So while they were making Assassin's Creed 3, and they were like, hey, we gotta, like, start making Assassin's Creed 4 while we're making Assassin's Creed 3, and we can pump it, and since we're just gonna use the same game engine anyway, like, we can pump it out pretty fast. Because that's how, again, they're not making them in a year. Like, Assassin's Creed 3 was an entirely new game engine. It took a little bit longer to make. It took a couple years. This game took less time because all the hard work of making a brand new game engine was already done. And they were just tweaking and putting new art assets on what was already there. But anyway, irrelevant. Ah, fuck. What is happening? So I guess if you don't like Assassin's Creed style combat, the part where you're like boarding the ships again and swashbuckling sword fights with the enemy crew, are a little bit of a bummer. And then the last one is, I guess you're giving the ship over to one of your crewmates and making him the captain, and it's like, go start going out on missions for my fleet, motherfucker. But those are all the different options.
Get the mainsails into the wind! Stands out! Let's get moving!
And then travel speed, if you sail along with the wind, it helps you go faster. But if you just hit travel speed, you're gonna be fucking booking it. What's the button? So, yeah, that is the part where this game is fucking awesome. Is where you're sailing around and like, hey, that ship has 30 kegs of rum. Let's fucking board them and take their cargo. And again, I am like 100% with this game. So every other ship in the game is like fucking nothing for me. Yeah, like, I mentioned this in the Assassin's Creed Origins video, but the combat in Assassin's Creed used to be kill chain combos like this. Where you wait for someone to counter, press counter, hit X, and then you're locked into, like, a kill chain. Or you can just point your stick in the direction of another enemy, and then start hitting X. And if you're, like, surrounded, you can start just ranking up an obscene number of kills and clear out the area pretty fucking quick. At some point, having a lot of crew members helping you out actually gets in the way of being able to seamlessly flow from one enemy to the next. And I guess if you don't like this style of gameplay, personally, I never had a problem with it, even in Assassin's Creed 3, where it really was just the enemies are standing around waiting for you to fucking press X and annihilate them. But in this, they actually improved on it a little bit, so while you're kill chaining, motherfuckers will run up and try and attack you. And you'll have to, like, interrupt yourself and press the counter button to stop them. But it's still pretty, like, horrible, demolishing, massive kill combos. So if you're not into that, I don't know what to tell you. I never had a problem with the kill chain combo system in Assassin's Creed. I liked the power fantasy of it, of just, really, if I can board this ship before the rest of my crew does their job. Let's see if I can hurry up and get over there. Like, only 5 guys, that's fucking none. But you really can clear out an entire fucking deck of enemies single-handedly with this kind of combat system. Like, look, like, just fucking demolished. And only one guy tried to attack me and interrupted me out of it. And then you can just, like, again, flick the stick from one guy to the next, press X, they're just dead. Immediately. And that's the best way to actually do it, because trying to just attack them regularly, there's no hit points, there's no health bar, you're just hitting them until the kill animation happens, and then you're locked into another death chain. So what I'm curious about is what they're gonna do after this. But anyway, what's funny is while you're sailing around, your men sing shanties, which is pretty awesome. You fire off your front boats. You shoot the chain shots. Really, what I like to do is just ram them. Because at this point, my Jackdaw is so upgraded, I took no fucking damage from doing that, and it immediately annihilated them. At this point, it's like so not a challenge anymore at all, but I still like turning this game on occasionally and getting my fix. The fix that I used to get from playing Sid Meier's Pirates. But this game is just so much better at being a pirate game. It satisfies that itch of, I'm fucking swinging on a rope onto the enemy ship and getting into a big swashbuckling sword fight with the enemy crew. and I'm raiding them for booty. Like, the feeling you get is this is the experience of playing a pirate game. And it's really fucking satisfying to have that experience, even if with this game, it's kind of a little bit of a shallow experience. I fucking annihilated like 5 ships already, so in Sid Meier's, you could also, I think it's this one. Yes. You could also raid towns and loot them for booty, which you can also do in this game. You could also raid forts in this game. And it's not like you're not attacking different towns, because that's actually kind of stupid. You shouldn't do that. Or this is the same kind of thing, where you're attacking a land settlement. And since I've already fucking annihilated this whole game years ago,
Prince among men.
I cannot return to a place I've never been. I was born in Trinidad, a slave from my first breath.
Ah. But wouldn't you feel, I don't know, more welcome there?
As you might feel more welcome in Paris.
Fair point.
race politics, you guys.
Skin and this voice, where can I go in the world and feel at ease? This country here is my best chance. It's a country called Jackdaw, where I know the names of all citizens and they know mine, and we work together. Not always out of love, but to keep our country afloat.
I understand you. Let's take her then. For the citizens of Jackdaw!
Pirates were very egalitarian. So instead of attacking a town, you attack these forts. And since I have just, like, this game has long since just been destroyed for me, what's supposed to be is there's a bunch of different forts all around the open world, and you can just dynamically decide whenever you want to tackle them. But they're all gone now in the actual world of my game. So if I want to show what that's like, I gotta go back to this story mission, which is kind of like the tutorial mission introducing the idea of raiding the forts. And it's probably gonna be super easy for me, considering.
We're ready, sir.
Let's board this ship first, as a nice distraction, which is funny. That's a good way to... Actually, can I? Yes. That's a good way to repair your ship if the fort battle is a little difficult, because everything around you while you're boarding will kind of leave you alone and won't hurt you. And when you board a ship and take it over, you can heal your ship. So it's a good way to cheat and get a little bit of health back if you're dealing with a really difficult fort. So this is like the tutorial mission for how to take forts. And again, it's that same like experience that you had in Sid Meier's when you're raiding a town and looting it for booty. But unlike in Sid Meier's, where you're just playing an RTS and then watching kind of a limp animation, a limp FMV of watching them hoist the colors and then immediately slamming back into a menu screen. In this, you take over the... When you have to, like, attack the fort and wear it down first. Yeah. Hurry up. You have to attack the fort and wear it down first and, like, butter up their defenses. There we go.
On your mark, Captain.
Next. Come on. I am demonstrating. And then, once all the defenses are taken down, then you gotta land and... start taking them out. Over there. Here we go. And boom, you dock in, and you, like, no loading screen, no transition, you just jump off of your ship and jump onto the dock and run up on the fort and start attacking it. It's pretty fucking awesome. You're not actually gonna get any help, though. You actually have to, like, kinda do it single-handedly. Although, hey, it seems like it auto-spawned some NPC crew members in there behind the curtain somehow. Here's your crew attacking. Probably because this is just a story mission, of course. But look, you're actually running directly, no loading screens, from your ship onto the fort, and now you're here watching the battle happen. Watching it all go down, taking part in it using the same combat system. It's so great. Like, this is what you want. You want that I am the pirate captain. I am boarding these fucking ships. I am attacking this fort with my crew. And claiming the fort.
Well, hello, Your Excellency.
Yeah, this is Assassin's Creed bullshit no one cares about. That normally doesn't happen. What happens is you do those objectives, and then there's an animation of them cutting down the flag and hoisting up your own, and now it becomes a friendly port. You own this port now, and it will collect income for you. You will collect revenue from this fort now. And you can land there and get ship repairs and buy equipment and stuff. You're actually taking over the map slowly. And it'll kick us back to the open world so I can actually show that. Right. Like I said, when you actually zoom out and look at it, it looks pretty fucking fucked up, doesn't it? Let's just fast travel there and get it over with. So and here we are at, like, I think this is the exact same port, actually, as the one from the story mission we just did. Should say, this game also looks really beautiful, genuinely. Like, look at that water. Bribe a local officer.
Might I be of assistance?
And then boom, you can just, you're talking to, it's a menu, like, you can't really get around that. But we can sell our fucking cargo. Bunch of sugar. Why does that happen? Rum of seafarer's water. It's not required, but you can sell it for a good price. And just rack up a ridiculous amount of money. Look at how much money we have. We have 600,000 money.
My fair winds, mate.
And, where's that officer? It just mentioned this guy. Boom, grab it. And look, now, instead of just being immediately booted back to the menu and being told, yeah, this is still a French settlement, and you have to, like, just go talk to the governor or whatever, and talk to the governor about how you sacked the fucking town that he is the governor of, and have that be the end of it, you actually own this settlement now. Not very populated, because it's the story-mandated one. Whoa, what's happening? They'll actually attack ships on your behalf. If you're like raiding a ship next to a fort that you own, it will attack those ships for you and help you out, which is hilarious. Like you're taking over the environment, which is a much more substantial impact than that feeling of, yeah, here's the FMV of you succeeding, here's your menu. It's still a French settlement, fuck you. Like, there's something just kind of disjointing about that. But with this, it's doing the same thing, but it feels a lot more visceral and tangible in your hands that you're taking over these settlements and you're raiding these ships and you're sailing around. You standing there with the steering wheel in your hand, sailing from one end of the Caribbean to the other. Oh, there's so much fucking stuff. But, again, the worst part about this game is the part where it's Assassin's Creed, unfortunately. Look, the Spanish and the fucking British ships are fighting each other, just dynamically, because of course they would be. You don't even have to get involved. Let's stop and watch the battle while I'm talking about this. We kind of won that one for you guys, didn't we? Oh, well, you guys can still fight. Look at them go. Yeah, you guys suck. Aw, poor English guys. Yeah, let's just watch the show for a little bit. And high waves? There's no high waves. I mean, a little bit. There's no storm or high waves, though. Get away from me. We're not involved. We're just watching. We're spectating this epic ship battle. Why can't I let go? This Spanish ship is kicking your ass, dude. Come on. Anyway, is the parts where it's Assassin's Creed. Is the parts where you have to get off your ship and go into a town and synchronize with viewpoints. And you have to do a tailing mission and follow some guy around. The parts where you're getting dragged out of this experience because the title of the game is Assassin's Creed. Oh shit, you're accidentally hitting us, dude. I mean, I guess we are kind of sitting here in the middle of between them. Oh, a bunch of other British ships are here. You were doing so well. Hey. The fuck? Excuse me. I don't appreciate this. Dick. How do you fucking like it? Assholes. What's nice is we destroyed the Spanish ship and the English ships are not attacking us. They won't be hostile. They won't automatically aggro to you just because you were hostile to another ship that was nearby them. But that, again, that's the part where I get, like, on the one hand, you might say it's Jesus. This fucking wave. On the one hand, you could say, like, it's unreasonable to accept... Oh, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Sorry. Sunk them. Oh, now they're mad. Don't worry, we can outrun them. Fuck you guys. Come do something about it. Look at my ship. The Jackdaw! Look at it go. It's pretty fucking awesome. On the one hand, you might say, like, it's unreasonable to expect a modern AAA game with these high production values to offer the same kind of completely open, dynamic freedom that Sid Meier's Pirates did. But then, on the other hand, isn't that fucking depressing? Isn't it depressing that a game that has, like, these high production values and story and all of that, you think, there's no, like, they just aren't capable of doing that in the way that an old game would be, isn't it? See if we can find some mana wars to fight. We'll head south. But, to be fair, that's not what this game was doing. They weren't trying to have that same kind of open, free-form, like, complete freedom of the Caribbean sandbox that Sid Meier's Pirates was. It's Assassin's Creed with pirates. They were trying to be an Assassin's Creed game with pirate ships. And that's all they wanted to do, and that's all they did. But again, that's the bummer of it. The parts of this game where it's like, oh right, Assassin's Creed. I have to run around this big map and synchronize with the viewpoints and attack the enemy strongholds and find all the collectibles. Those are the and where you get like pulled out of the Animus and have to wander around the real world and have to interact with all these forced cutscenes with linear hand-holding missions. Those are the parts where this game's a fucking bummer. But the parts where this game's a pirate game are the awesome parts. So for a long time, I was sitting here going like, what they should do is just take all the parts of Assassin's Creed Black Flag where it's just a pirate game and just make a pirates game out of it. Just to make a pirate game excising the Assassin's Creed part. What I always bring up this comparison. Call of Duty Modern Warfare was Call of Duty 4. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. They slapped the old title on there, and then what happened? Modern Warfare 2. They dropped the Call of Duty title. It was an entirely new series now. So for a long time, I was like, they should make Black Flag 2. Because this was Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. It was a numbered sequel and had a subtitle, which is weird, but indicative of the fact that they didn't know what the fuck they were doing after Assassin's Creed 3 was supposed to be the end of the franchise. So I was like, just make Black Flag 2, which they're kind of doing. They're not calling it Black Flag 2. I stipulate that it should be called Black Flag 2. That would be hilarious and awesome. This is just open ocean for a long time. Okay, start heading east or west against the wind. That's not really a game mechanic in this game. But in Skull and Bones, which is the pirate game, that's a sequel to Black Flag. That's how if you start hearing about Skull and Bones, that's how you should think of it. It's Black Flag 2. And again, I say they shouldn't have called... Skull and Bones is a good pirate game title, but I feel like they should have just called it Black Flag 2. That would have been funny, but from a marketing perspective, I guess that's the wrong call. Convoy, carrying a shit ton of money. Let's raid their shit. You're mine now. Fuck you up. And this ship's too small to board. It's just a gunship. Oh wait, no, it's a schooner. And now we can board all three. See, this part is awesome. This part where you're just being like, yeah, fucking take that shit. Man, that's just unfair. Look at that. Look how small that poor little ship is. This is the part of this game where it's awesome. And this is the part of the game that they're like, oh dude, that part of the game was awesome. Just take that part and make a whole game out of it. That's what Skull and Bones is. It's just the pirate part of Assassin's Creed 4 made into an entire game. And I'm curious about what they'll do with the combat, because they're taking the pirate ship part, that same engine, and there's a couple of missions in Assassin's Creed Origins where it's the pirate ship combat in fucking ancient fucking Roman Hellenic Egypt, by the way, which is kind of funny. But it's that same kind of combat, and you can kind of see how they're still kind of testing it out. Man of War. That's what we're going for next. After we're done with these. And kind of see them like trying to fine-tune it and test it in that game before they have an entire game revolving around it. So Skull and Bones is probably just going to have sheer this style of ship combat and those mechanics at work. But what I'm curious about is how the hand-to-hand combat is going to work, the sword combat. Because if it's just Assassin's Creed style of ship combat, and you can't attack these other pirate ships and board them, and have this happen, and you're just getting into the ship combat and blowing them out of the water with your cannons, and you can't pull them in and board their ship, well, you're losing something. You've lost part of the pirate experience. And in all the gameplay videos, they've only shown ship combat, where you're getting into big cannon blowout fights with other ships. They've basically only showed this. Where pretend this is a video for Skull and Bones, where we immediately took out their ship, and then boom, they're sunk, and that's it. That's the only thing they've showed about Skull and Bones so far. But I think they are still going to have the sword-to-sword combat of boarding enemy ships and fighting their crew, probably not as part of the multiplayer, which is, again, the only parts they've shown. I mean, that game's still a long way off from being a thing, so it's understandable that there's not a lot to show of it yet. The only parts they've showed are the parts where, well, that game already existed right here. So what are they going to do with the sword-to-sword combat? Are they going to still have this Assassin's Creed 3 analogous edited version of Assassin's Creed 3 style of combat, or are they going to have a completely different style of combat specifically for Skull and Bones, and it's going to be completely different, and it's not going to have the combo chain of death systems? Or will it be sort of like how the combat in Assassin's Creed Origins works? That's what I'm curious about, because they have to. There's got to be hand-to-hand, sword-to-sword ship boarding combat in Skull and Bones. It would be a weird omission if they did it. But what form is it going to take? Is it going to just be this? I kind of doubt it. So I'm curious about what it is going to be instead. Something completely new, or taking the new style of combat that the new next-gen Assassin's Creed games have, and just transmuting that in instead. It's an interest to me to try and guess what the new game will be like, based on looking at what the old games that the studio has made were like. But, hopefully, considering how close this game it didn't actually get close. Like, it nailed the, it nailed the, I'm a fucking pirate, but it didn't nail the, it's a pirate's life for me. That is the distinction. Sid Meier's Pirates was the, it's a pirate's life for me game, but you didn't feel like you were actually a pirate. Whereas this game makes you feel like you're a pirate, but it's not a pirate's life for me. It's an Assassin's Creed game with a really fun pirate game combat ship rating system stapled on top. Let's take out that fucking man of war. So, hopefully, I can only hope and pray and assume, maybe Skull and Bones will be the game that finally does it. Maybe Skull and Bones will finally be the humpback whale! Will finally be the perfect pirate game. The game that does it all. The game that nails the fulfilling fantasy of being a pirate, owning your own ship, and running around from dock to port to, like deck and getting into ship combat fights like this, and having the freedom to like live your own life and decide your own fate, what you want to do as a pirate. Do you want to try and become the coolest, baddest motherfucking pirate around? Do you want to just be a simple trader? Because that was an option in Sid Meier's Pirates, is if you wanted, you could just learn you could be a boring trader. You could live like... You could learn the trade routes and buy low at one port and sell high at another port. It's not something that's very fun or interesting to do, but you could have done it, and I'm wondering and hoping that Skull and Bones will be able to take all of the things that Sid Meier's Pirates, like, Live the Life did, and be able to do that and have that be part of the experience of that game. While also having this, like, yeah, I'm a motherfucking pirate game, like immersive gameplay to it. And is that even possible? Is it even possible for a AAA game developed by Ubisoft to be able to accomplish that? To be able to take the things that Sid Meier's Pirates did and integrate that into a big AAA game? Like, it's too early to know, but you can only, like, so far we can only speculate, we can only wonder, we can only hope that Skull and Bone will have the same greatness and appeal that Sid Meier's Pirates had. I mean, clearly they were influenced by Sid Meier's Pirates. When you play this, you can feel that, like, they played Sid Meier's Pirates and were influenced by it. So you can only hope that now that they're making the game that's just a pirate game and doesn't have to, like, stymie itself by being Assassin's Creed, they can, like, devote their full resources to making the newest, greatest pirate fucking game. Like, maybe we'll finally have it. Maybe we'll finally have the game where I'm like, yeah, I'm a pirate and I can do whatever I want to do here on this open sea of the Caribbean, right? Because, oh, we're so close to that. Like, we have Sid Meier's Pirates, which is where you can do whatever you want, and you have this, where you feel like a pirate. Just, like, before Skull and Bones got announced, I would have been going, just someone out there, take those two games, and just smush them together, and make the ultimate pirate game. And hopefully that's what Ubisoft is doing. And if they do it, I'm gonna be happy. But you never know with Ubisoft, right? But like, Skull and Bones not being out yet, and us having no way of knowing one way or the other. For now, all I can do is like point to the video before this, Sid Meier's Pirates, and then point to this, and go like, that's what I want. A combination, like, take Sid Meier's Pirates and Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and make them have a crack baby, and that is the game that I want. You are actually, like, take some video editing tools, and combine this game with that game. And you have actually witnessed the true form of the ultimate pirate game that I want to exist, and that I desperately want to play. Because with this game, it really is kind of worth just speeding through the main story and not even giving a shit. Because, man, the main story just doesn't matter at all. I mean, it's kind of well done on its own face. And it is kind of actually interesting, because Edward Kenway here, the main character, is just a normal guy, and he kind of doesn't have any investment in the Assassins versus Templars plot. He's kind of involved, but he doesn't really give a shit about anything. He just wants to get paid because he's a fucking pirate. Like, he's an assassin pirate, so he's basically a ninja pirate, which is pretty awesome. But he doesn't have any investment in the long-standing narrative of the Assassin's Creed series. He's just in it to be a pirate, which is pretty fucking awesome. What's great, like, also reason to speed through the main story is your first mate. In that story mission, you might notice our first mate was Adewale, who was some black guy, but in the post-game, Adewale has become an assassin, so he's not a pirate anymore. So now our first mate is this chick, which is awesome. This foxy redhead here. So, like, that doesn't impact anything gameplay-wise, but it's way better to have Foxy Redhead standing there being our first mate instead. And the modern-day story is post, oh shit, we have to keep this going. So they actually do some creative things with it. But, regardless, this is post Assassin's Creed should have fucking ended by now, as far as I'm concerned. So, the parts where this is Assassin's Creed should just be completely ignored. If you want to enjoy this game, you should just speed through that main story, and then just roam around the open world and upgrade the Jackdaw with all the money and supplies you loot from fighting all these guys. They seem to be fighting each other again. Let's release the wheel and just watch them fight, which is always awesome. Get a good view, in fact. We are impartial observers. Get a good view up here. See, this is the fun of it. I'm like scampering around on top of my own ship for no reason, just checking things out. That's the part of this game that's awesome. The part of this game where it's like your mission after the end of this unskippable cutscene is to track down this guy, and you have to kill him, and then watch another cutscene, and then do a tailing mission. And you have to follow this guy without being seen and listen in on their conversation. And it's like, fuck you, this is stupid. Let me go back on the pirate ship. Let me go back to fighting these ships and raiding towns. Like, the parts of this game that, because I do like playing this game and having that fun experience of, yeah, it's a pirate game. Yeah, I'm fucking attacking these ships. I do just come back to this game and play it in the open world like this just to have that fun of getting into big cannon fights with these ships and then boarding them and taking all their cargo and booty. That's the part that's fun. But then the parts of this game that I miss are the parts that, why are you doing this? Thankfully, I don't think the Jackdaw can take damage while we're not in control of it. Are the parts where Sid Meier's Pirates was doing that stuff. The part where I want to decide to lend my allegiance to these different nations and get involved with that, and like pledge my loyalty to the English and get in a war with the Spanish or whatever, or get married to this governor's daughter. The part where it's a sim game and and getting a completely new ship. Why not? You can just completely get rid of your ship and start steering around a sleuth instead. Oh, come on. Get a little bit closer. Ah, so close. Come on. It's so fun to jump on these ships when you're not, like, in a boarding action with them. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can get on this ship. That's actually a really fun thing to do. It's kind of hard because they're always sailing around, and you swim really slowly. Yeah, we're on. So what we can do is we can get on this ship, even though we haven't gotten into combat with it, and just fucking clear the fucking deck. we can clear the entire deck of all its crew members using this unstoppable fucking combo of death system. And once all of the crew members are manually dead and the ship is just fucking empty, then you can start attacking it again and it'll just immediately succeed. Which is pretty fun. And again, that's a part that Sid Meier's Pirates did. That's the part of the pirate experience that's fun that this game doesn't do. Where if you start pirating at a ship, they might be like, fuck this. Just immediately surrender, strike the colors, and damn it. And just give up and let you take them over. And surrender their cargo to you. That would be a fun, and like you can kinda pseudo-force that with what I'm doing here. Where you're clearing the deck manually. And like maybe you can pretend, oh shit, you're just so scared of the jackdaw. And see, look, the entire ship is fucking dead and empty. And now let's run back onto the jackdaw here. Again, did you see that seamless? Oh, we went from our ship to their ship and back. Because this game's pretty awesome like that. Hit them once, immediately they have lost all their health. Start boarding them. And then all we gotta do is strike the colors. Because it's a man of war, and it's like, you have to do an extra little mission on top of clearing out their crew. Yeah, pirate! See what I mean? See how awesome that is? Even though there's like no enemy crew to fight, which is pretty funny. It's a lot makes more sense when it's a smaller ship and you clear the deck and then you do the volley, do the boarding action, and then just immediately succeed. But then boom, just like that, you take the ship over. It's pretty fucking funny. And there's not even a little animation of you dealing with the crew, because all the crew's dead. You already killed them before you even started the action. It's pretty fucking great. But anyway, so that's Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Shame about the Assassin's Creed part, but the part where it's Black Flag kicks ass. Just take the parts of this game where it's Black Flag, and take the parts of Sid Meier's Pirates where it's the life, and have Black Flag, it's the life. And that's the ideal pirate game that I want to exist, that I want to play. And hopefully Skull and Bones will be that game. Maybe. You never know. Anything's possible. But that's what I'm hoping for. There we go. Yeah, fuck you. You do still get the loot you would have gotten from the boarding action, thankfully. You just have to manually sail over and pick it up. So yes, that was the 2-day Foxeh Pirate special. Black Fluff, the Foxeh Pirate, has just terrorized the high seas. That's what I name it. And when Skull and Bones comes out and I play it, because I will, I'm gonna name my fucking captain Black Fluff. Look, there's a shipwrecked guy from the ship we blew up. Let's rescue him. Boom, he becomes part of our crew immediately. It's great. Anyway. And then there's no option to go back and divide the plunder, because that's stupid. But you do have the Great Inagua, which is like your home base. It's like, again, it's the port. It's like the pirate hideaway that Edward owns. And you can go to other, like, I didn't go to other, like, regular port towns. I just went to, like, the fort you can capture. But you can go to other fort towns and just dock in and jump off and run around the town filled with normal people and whatnot. Whereas this is your pirate hideaway, where you can run around and it's all these pirates who assumedly work for Edward, who are like either part of his crew or benefit from the small little pirate town you have here. With this big store and your tavern and, like, there's huts. Like, normal people live here and benefit from the loot you're bringing in as a pirate. In terms of the aesthetic, that's the thing. There's no actual gameplay to running the town. That's something maybe you could add for Skull and Bones, is, like, having real estate gameplay interactives with your town and being able to build it up with all your pirate loot. But as it stands, it's just aesthetically, this is your pirate manor that you own as part of the story, but gameplay-wise, there's nothing you can do. You can't interact with it in any real substantial way. It's just part of the awesomeness of being Edward Kenway, the fucking pirate assassin. What is this? The jackdaw. Yeah, just looking at it. That's weird. The fuck? Okay. So that was our pirate game spectacular. Arr. That's what I want. I want a pirate game where you can just go arr. Press button. Press the R button. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I need a better way to end videos one of these days. It always feels a little limp and anemic to just go, yep, video over now. Oh no! What is happening? Oh no! Oh no! What the fuck? What the fuck? What? Ah! Oh no! Video games! Ah! Ah, it's fine. You just swim out and yay, we're free. No, it's still underneath the grass. We're underneath the grass. We gotta get to the beach. Gotta find the exit. Gotta find the exit. Oh no, we're underneath it. We're underneath the beach. We can't escape. We can't escape. We can't escape from the beach. Oh no. What is happening? Ah. Oh, let's climb on this rock. Let's climb on this rock. We can't do it. We can't do it. We're stuck. This is how Edward Kenway, the great pirate, dies. Goodbye, Edward. You were a greater man than any of us. No. There we go. It's fine. We escaped.